I only spent 3 weekends in Washington without my family. I lived here. And so maybe that kept my perspective to be a little bit more connected to community and what's going on in the real world and the impacts of some of this stuff on the real world than maybe somebody who thinks that everybody has high-priced lawyers to sort out what these regs mean. With respect to, getting things done, and we're not always going to agree on everything. But what I can tell you is I won't play political games, and I'll always tell you the truth. And that's, I think that's what you should expect from your senator. And it's not. I know that I'm not going to, win every day on everything, and that our government has divided power, and that divided power generally protects all of us from tyranny. It does mean that it's very hard sometimes to get things done, and it can be frustrating. Even if you're in the middle of it, it's frustrating, let alone if you're kind of watching it happen. But I've also seen that if you're persistent about things and you try for a very long time to build consensus, to make change, you can get stuff done. And I think Pete Domenici showed that. He was very effective as a United States Senator and never lost touch with where he came from. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Heather, for coming today. I'm with the Rio Grande Credit Union, and I'm actually the newest board member. You talked about commercial banking and commercial lending for the credit union, and I wanted to get down to kind of more specifics because when I was reading your letter and you mentioned that people that, kind of lower income or people that, don't make a lot of money are with credit unions, but yet some of those people go on to develop their own business.
Yep.
And so I guess I wanted to know, at what point do you see credit unions at what level, I guess, should credit unions not be lending to where they're competing with banks? Because is it like one employee or 5 employees or 10 employees? At what level, or is it several $1,000s, or I'm just curious to know where that break occurs.
I'm not sure I could give you an answer on that, how to do that. I can tell you conceptually that I see the two as different, which is the justification for why they are regulated differently and their tax status is a little bit different and so forth. But I think I would be beyond my area of expertise to say, yeah, here today I know exactly what these, you should have the following 5 characteristics, and that's exactly where the bright line should be drawn, or it shouldn't be a bright line, it should be the following 2 or the following 5. That's not something where I feel comfortable saying I got the answer on that one. Maybe one last question.
Because a lot of people, go on to start their own businesses after they retire from government.
You bet. You bet. Last question. Whenever I say that, nobody wants to.
You have one distinction now that you don't talk about, but I understand you're the first female veteran to ever to serve a full term in Congress.
That's actually true. There was one woman who did serve. I'm also actually 3rd generation Air Force. My grandfather flew in the First World War. He was and then he came to America. He was a barnstormer and opened little airports. And he once he got a job in America, he wrote back to my grandmother and asked her to come to America and marry him. And she did. She got married the day she got off the boat. Actually, this is her wedding ring. I wear my grandmother's wedding ring. And he flew in the Second World War for the United States of America. My dad started flying when he was a teenager and signed up for the Air Force after high school. And I just came across, my mom passed away a couple years ago, and she had boxes of stuff, and I came across some letters from my dad to my mom when he was in basic training in the Air Force at Lackland in 1947, and then he was stationed at Walker Air Force Base in Roswell, right after the UFO. He wasn't there for the UFO, but it was wonderful to read those letters, and the frustration of a soldier in basic training, and there was just one woman that was just real cute in the letter and said, I'm doing well. I get in trouble sometimes, and they tear apart my bunk, but the food's good, and you can have all the milk you want. But you think about that, here's a teenage boy in World War II, where you couldn't have all the milk you wanted. But if you went into the Air Force, you could get all the milk you wanted. Then when I was a junior in high school, they opened the Air Force Academy of Women, and that seemed like a pretty interesting thing. And with the support of my grandfather, my grandpa had 2 sons and 5 grandsons, and me. And I was the one who thought I wanted to go to this Air Force Academy, but he had flown with some WASPs in World War II, and he thought they were pretty good pilots. And so with his blessing and a full ride scholarship, I became the first person in my family to go to college. I went to the Air Force Academy, served in the Air Force. So yes, I was I think there may be a woman vet now in the House. There's never been one in the Senate. So it's about time. Thank you all very much.